This. Yes, I am live. Live, I tell you. How about you, Tim? You live?
No.
Well, I'm going to talk about the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. You ever hear of those? Okay, so the Blue Angels are the Navy uh, elite Air Force. Generally, they go to the Navy Air Force, Naval Air Force, and they generally go to air shows and show their stuff. And the Thunderbirds are the Air Force's version of the Blue Angels, and they generally have a pretty good competition, friendly competition between the two. And I'm live, and people are actually showing up here. Isn't that amazing for the YouTube's most jealous farmer, right, Tim? That's right. So I'm so jealous it hurts. I don't have a fancy new corn plant. I gotta use this piece of shit I had to fix. Yeah. No. Anyways, so yeah. I just made your Saturday. Thanks, man, Alex Walton. That's cool. Anyway, so what I'm going to talk about is when I was a child. See, I am going to be 48 years old. 48 years old, and on my eighth birthday, what the heck would that have been? 1980. On my Angels. Well, I like angles, so my autocorrect. Come on, the Blue Angles. So, and this is OLF. This isn't, Millennial Farmer where everything's perfect. Oh no! It's the jealous guy! Anyways, I can pick on Zach. I'm waiting for him to start picking on me. That's what I really, truly thrive for him to do, is these guys to start picking on me. Add Vander Velden, comment. So, anyways, hey Jeff, how you doing? Jeff Raymond, he's here. He's probably got all his corn and beans planted, and he's starting to, calculate how much money he's going to have at the end of the year. I don't know if he's got any poverty grass. That might take it all away. But we don't know. We don't know yet. So, anyways, when I was 8 years old, we went to the Willow Grove National Air Naval Air Force Base. Now, if you don't know, Willow Grove is only like 35, 40 minutes from here, outside of Doylestown in Warrington, Pennsylvania. So I've been to that air show twice. The first time when I was 8, on my 8th birthday, like I said before. I think it had to be my birthday. It might have been July 4th. I don't know. My birthday is the 5th of July, so it was either the day. I think it was the 5th. That was when it was held. And it was all about the Blue Angels. Now, at that time, the Blue Angels were not flying F-18s. They were flying F-4 Phantoms. And I remember the F-4 Phantoms because they were really a big deal at the time. Serbia. Wow, Bojan, what is that? I can't pronounce that with the little weird signs over top of it. Ben Metherol. And anyways, here we go. Hi from the UK and Wales. Anyway, so they were flying F-4 Phantoms, and when they were flying, you had the Air Force Thunderbirds, you had the Canadian Snowbirds. I think they were called the Canadian Snowbirds. Anyways, it looked like a flying goose of some form, and the American, or the Navy Blue Angels, and the Blue Angels were based out of there. It was like this thing, and my dad and the neighbors, they had their cameras. My dad had a Canon. I think they bought it together, to be honest with you. I don't remember. Anyways, I had a Canon camera, which was very expensive at the time, a 35 millimeter camera. Wow, you got to see F-4 Phantoms on the USS Yorktown. It would be neat. That's over here in New York, right? Or is that the Intrepid? That's the Intrepid, isn't it? Anyway, nice shirt. Thank you. It's really getting pretty warm. I'm almost thinking about taking it off. The Red Arrow is fantastic, UK. Good afternoon, Fayetteville. Yep, there you go, North Carolina. Hey, from Cleveland, Ohio. Hey, West, Thunderbirds and Blue Angels in Lakeland, Florida. See, okay, Air Force pause. The runways don't. You guys in the Air Force, leave the Air Force alone. They're good guys, They might be college boys and spoiled to no end, but they do their job, and we're thankful to have them. Anyway, I didn't get to see them fly over, but we did hear them the other day. When was that? A couple days ago? Maybe 3 or 4 days ago. They were supposed to fly over New Jersey, and we were hoping that they would make their bank over Hunterdon County. But I don't think they wanted to do it because the president's golf course is right over here. It's just my personal opinion. I thought they should have flew over the president's golf course, but I'm sure the demon rats would have been just off the charts. Like, they wasted fuel. They flew from Trenton to Bedminster and they wasted fuel because there's nobody out there. Well, I'm here, and I'd have liked to seen it. And Timmy Cornpicker's here. I'm sure he would have, just about wet the bed when they go over. And, it would have been really neat to see. But anyways, back to the F-4 Phantoms and the Blue Angels when I was 8 years old. It was really a cool thing for an 8-year-old kid to go to an air show where you could see, let's see, B-17s. They didn't have the B-29 there, but they had B-17s. They had Hellcats, Wildcats, Bearcats. They had, huh? They did have P-51s, and they had P-38 Lightnings. We got pictures of P-38s, and that really kind of sparked my interest in, American aviation and, and how World War II was, won by these old planes. I never really cared too much about the jets because I remember going like this when they went over, and they were loud, and it was crazy, and it shook. You could feel it in your chest when they came over. But the old piston engines, piston radials, and inline V12s and stuff like, or the V12 inlines, the V12s and stuff like that. Those were really cool airplanes. They did some helicopter recoveries like they did in Vietnam, and they did that some in World War II. Definitely started. I think they did it in Korea, not World War II. But they would come by with a balloon, and they would tie prisoners to strings and dead bodies to strings and evac them with airplanes. Yes, airplanes. They'd catch them and then hoist them up and take them off that way. It was must have been a wild ride. I mean, really. I mean, if what would it be, a C-17 or something come in and hook you, suck your ass right up. So, anyways, while we were watching these airplanes go over and stuff, we heard an explosion. And the explosion was violent, and it was behind us. And I remember looking behind and seeing this thing go straight up into the air. And I thought, oh my God. And I'm 8 years old, and I was with a neighbor kid next door, and he was a year older. I might have been 7, 8. Either I was 7 and he was 8, or I was 8 and he was 9. But anyways, whatever. We were young kids. It doesn't matter. I'm sure the photographs. My dad actually caught pictures of this explosion. So what had happened was they had they would let you into the cockpit of these. The A1 Skyraider, they were big bastards. What is that Wasp engine or whatever the heck?
That one that I got hanging in there, the A1 Skyraider.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're neat. Anyway, my dad's got the photographs, and here it was. They would allow kids to go into the cockpit and sit behind a cockpit of these things, and they were supposed to be disabled. Well, there's a sequence, as you may or may not know, to eject from one of these airplanes. And it's pretty near impossible to hit the sequence right. Well, the canopy was cocked like this. Now, I'm not sure if it was an F. I think it was an F-14, which would be the Tomcat, right?
Yeah.
F-14 Tomcat. I'm pretty sure because that was the one that had the wings would sweep back. And I remember getting up to it, and then not getting in it because there was a kid in it. So I was close to this, like minutes before this happened. You'd go up the ladder and you'd walk across, and if there was somebody sitting in the seat, you could either wait and let other people go around you, or you could go down. So I was up there. I'm sure it was an F-14. It had to be. Anyway, whatever. I went, and there was a kid sitting in the cockpit, and it was really neat. And this was all supposed to be disabled, but it wasn't. So we were watching the airplanes go over, and this explosion happens, and this kid shot through the canopy, the kid in the seat shot through the canopy. He went this way, yeah, and the kid went the other way. I think so. They weren't strapped in. It might have been strapped in. No. 2 kids were injured. They both died. One went flying as they went up, and the other kid came down with the parachute on the seat. It went up several hundred feet and came down. So, what was crazy about this, and my father said this on the way home as we were in the back of the Jeep, because we didn't have a third row of seats and nobody sat in the seat. It was just all of us kids in this Jeep, Jeep Wagoneer. And I remember my dad saying, he says, I think the cows would have moved easier than those people did. So they bring in the helicopter, and this is as clear as the sun is today out here. They bring the helicopter, and medevac helicopter, and you know how big those things are. Now we're talking Vietnam era, whoop, 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 whoop. Comes in and it's hovering there, and they're on the loudspeaker, and they're going, "Please move out of the way. Please move out of the way." And the people were just, this kid, they just rushed in. Now I could see rushing in to help these two boys, um, but they all rushed in and they wouldn't get away. They wouldn't move back. And the helicopter came in, and when it got real serious, like, either you move from the area or we will land on you. And that sticks in my head because this thing starts coming down. Pop, 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 pop. And that's when people moved out of the way for them to land. They needed an area wide enough that the rotors, I highly doubt that the rotors would have hurt anybody because they are pretty high up, but it's just scary. Just really scary to experience that, especially as an 8-year-old kid. So anyway, it was just, how dumb are people? And even back then in 1979 or 80 or whatever the hell year, I think it was 79 or 80, it was unbelievable how dumb people could really be. That they wouldn't move out of the way. There's two boys that are, their life is in limbo. They're going to die. They've got like third degree burns, second, third, first, second, third degree burns. The kid that broke his neck, um, it was not a Chinook. I mean, I know what a Chinook is. This was actually it was a Huey. It was a Bell Huey, Bell helicopter. And yeah, they came in. Yeah. So anyway, that's my Blue Angels story. I didn't get to see them, and it would have been really neat. There's a lot of people out there that are saying, "Oh, what a waste of time, what a waste of fuel, what a waste." Well, when I was younger, and I say in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, maybe I doubt the early 2000s, but definitely through the 90s, the river, the Delaware River, they would come. I don't remember when Willow Grove was shut down, but when they shut Willow Grove down, we don't see A-10s anymore. We barely see the Chinooks. We barely hear the Black Hawks go. We don't see the jet planes anymore like we used to. It was nothing to see a fighter plane come ripping over. Mr. E30, Evening West from Northern Ireland. Enjoyed the content for many years. Keep on uploading. Oh, I will. You're the people that I upload for. I don't upload for the assholes. I went on a blocking spree here this morning. I'm going to just block these idiots. They can be heroes in their own mind. We're going to do that for everybody because it's kind of starting to destroy the channel in a way. I mean, as much as I love combating these idiots, I found that it's consuming more of my time on a negative side than it is on a positive side. And I know I've said this before, but I actually do love to combat with these jackasses. Hey, is my tank full?
Mm-hmm.
Is it folded up?
Yeah.
Let's say we get her folded up and get some round them up in there. We're gonna dump that. We got to figure out about how many gallons are in that drum, and then we'll get that in there. And we're gonna just spray this shit on there. Today's a good day to do it. 4 hours to rain fast. It should be good. I'll let you do that while I go down and attempt to put fertilizer down below.
Okay.
So I always enjoy your vids. Well, thank you. I enjoy making them, and that's why I'm still here. I mean, 11 years in, I should just pack it in and go home. Look, Cole the Corn Star is a child. He's 24 years old. He's a boy. He's doing what is best for him, and and that's just it. It looks like a kid. So that they're doing their thing, and that's okay. We're not going to trash Cole. Cole's all right. He's doing the thing. And it's just like Millennial Farmer. We're not going to trash him here either, even though some people think that I do. Um, Zach and his wife are doing their thing. They're making money. They're doing very well. I personally am at the stage in my life and my career on YouTube that I really don't care too much for the growth of the channel. I mean, I like to grow and stuff, but if it stops and it ends, let's face it, I'm going to be 48 years old. Who the hell wants to see this white-haired, wrinkly old fuck do this anymore, except for other white-haired, wrinkly old fucks, you know? I mean, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the comment section is really interesting. And I think, and I don't know if, oh, where did it happen? What, that problem? Oh, that happened at Willow Grove in Pennsylvania. Oh, and after Willow Grove, if you're ever in Pennsylvania and you're near me, the Willow Grove Naval Air Station actually has a museum where you can go see an ME 262. Now, does anybody here know what an ME 262 is? They have a beautiful museum down there. Yeah, I'm not doing simulators. So if anybody knows what an ME 262 is, Teresa does. You know what an ME 2? You've seen the ME 262. Yeah, Teresa, my love, my beautiful wife. She's here. Messerschmitt. Yeah, not a Russian jet. Come on, guys. Messerschmitt, not Antonov. 141,000 people that want to watch you. That is for sure. Yeah, that is for sure. That is the first functional German jet. It is a two-engine German jet, and they went up against the P-51s and the Wildcats and the yeah, and other fork-tailed devils like the P-38 Lightning and the later year ones. First jet power. Yeah, they had rocket-powered gliders, which they would shoot up and then. Can drive a motorcycle? Can Teresa drive a motorcycle or a dirt bike? I'm sure she could. She had a friend that was killed on a motorcycle, so she's not a fan. She's not a fan. I think she had a teacher that was killed as well. Oh, Steve Barga? If I was like your father, that's kind of a compliment, I guess. I would think, and I'm glad that I can, brighten your day. Greetings from Poland. Keep up the good work. Your only real channel on YouTube. I intend to keep it that way for a couple of reasons. There's enough people going out there and doing the new corn planter, the new sprayer, the new spreader, the new this, the new that, the new the other damn thing. And there's enough of those guys out there to do that. And there's only a small amount of us. Well, there's a lot of us out there, but nobody that actually has a channel the size of mine that does this rebuilding on these old things. Yeah, this corn planter, I enjoyed doing it. And a lot of people said I wasted my money. Every time I put this thing in a video, it makes me money. Frank Whittle invented the jet engine in England. Yes, he did. And the Germans perfected it. The Germans were really good, as you know. They were really good engineers. Yeah, they really were. We stole a lot of German technology here in the United States. But anyway, I guess we're getting off topic here. I just wanted to share that about the Blue Angels and stuff. Are still great. We have 6 rows, so simple to work on and use. Well, this is the thing with these planners, and I know there's a lot of people that do kind of want to pick on me about this thing, and I'm okay with it. If you want to pick on me about this corn planter, it all comes down to the bottom line, all right? And the bottom line is, what would you rather have, a few dollars in your pocket or a $300,000 corn planter or planter? Now, this world has places for those. This place definitely has This world has places for those. It's not here on the East Coast much. There's some places, yes, but they're very expensive. The profit margins are very thin, and on a year like this, I'm sure there's a few people that wouldn't mind using this, and or will be fixing these so that they don't have to buy that new machine. And these are fully rebuildable. There are many companies that make parts for these things. NAS, whoa, hold on a second. July 4th, 1980, a 7-year-old boy is killed and several others are injured when he managed to fire an ejection seat in Lockheed SA. Oh, it was in a Viking. Okay. You even had it. I knew somebody was going to do it. I knew somebody was going to look that up. See, so that was 1980, and it was definitely my eighth birthday. See, I'm not completely crazy. So 40 years ago, on July 5th, was that July 5th? I think it was July 5th. Was it July 5th? July 4th, 4th of July. So it was the day before my birthday. Yes, the day before my eighth birthday, um, that kid was killed. Thanks for looking that up, though, because this was purely from my memory. And I didn't know what, at 8 years old, what could I possibly know about jet planes and stuff. So I'd actually like to look that up. But I had my hands on that thing. I really wanted to get into it. Jamie from JWB, the legend, watches for years, loved the no BS attitude. Oh, filming tractors and plant. Yeah, great, excellent. I remember you. Anyway, yeah, awesome. How's your dad doing? Dad, not dad. How's John the Legend doing? The Legend. I love it. What brand of tools do you like to use on the farm? I use what works. I will ban Fu Woohoo when he's ready to. See, I can't ban him on a live stream. Yeah, more old school tractor pulls. Come on. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I wish you have always been a big inspiration for me, Albert Muaver. He's doing well and getting some new gear this year. Yeah, I heard he went through a divorce. That's terrible. I went through one. I went through a divorce and then a breakup with somebody that I was with for like 9 years. And yeah, Fu Woohoo, you're gonna be deleted. I will get you later. But anyway, yeah, no, divorce sucks. It takes half your wealth, takes half your heart, takes half your mind. You don't think right after that. And when I do come to England or the United Kingdom, I guess as they call it. I call it England because it's England. You know, England is three countries, right? The UK, uh, England, Scotland, and Wales. Is there anything else there? I don't think there's anything else there. But I'd really like to meet up with John again. Oh, I've got a shirt for him. You see, when I gave him a shirt, I didn't realize he was as big as he was. And he's a big old boy. Now, Ireland is not on the same island. So it's a different island. It's over there. And then you have Northern Ireland. I think they control Northern Ireland. And yeah, I know, but it's not on the same island. It's the same nation. It's just a different island. Um, Cody's pretty much bought the baler. It's a really good baler. Hopefully he's making a deal right now. Yeah. Next tractor purchase, still looking at like a 7930, 70, 7920, 7930. All right, go to work, new Wes. Foo, just shut up, people. Wes is nice. Oh, I'm nice, you know. I'm not a bad person, and I'm just gonna have to deal with this idiot. Hide user from the channel. See you later. So he's gone. Yep, he's gone. Hidden by one lonely farmer. Isn't that amazing how that works? A Crone 1290 HDP. The Crone 1290 HDP high speed, same as mine. So we will run the same balers. It's not going to be this thing. If I told him he had to buy a 4910, which I wouldn't tell him to do that because he hates this one, he'd quit. You know, he'd quit. I have a 4960 that came from Germany. It was actually a 4955, and it's hooked up right there. That was from there. Yeah, he's recovering now. I'm back on the dating scene. Would love to see you again. I would love to see John again. You know, George is great. Kurt, good guy, hell of a good guy. John and I, because we're probably pretty close in age. I think he's a wee bit older than me, maybe a few years. Me and him really hit it off. I really enjoyed the time that I was there with him because, and you know, it was great. I really enjoyed it a lot. I did see the blown up Heston. I don't want that piece of shit. I got one of them here. You know, this baler may have 9,000 bales on it, but they were like, I think they tried to bale concrete blocks with it, and they really don't know what a grease gun looked like. So, yeah. I will be coming back to England. I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row and everything back to, back into normal. But I've had a child. Teresa and I have William now, so it's kind of hard. You have to pay for another ticket. It's more expensive. It takes more time. So we're really trying to wait until he's a little bit older. I was going to make the trip this fall and go meet up with Lord Muck, Kurt and George again, and try to get over to see John. You see, I definitely would have went to see John because, it just would have been wrong of me to show up on an island and not go see the people I consider my friends. And yeah, do you mean Cody's buying his own baler and buying one for you? No, he's buying his own. I have subcontracted him down in North Carolina, and he is going to run his baler for a per bale purchase. So he's going to buy a tractor and a baler. It's what he wants to do. And I've tried to encourage all of my children to do this. So I get the jobs. I want Timothy to do it. I want Joseph to do it. And Cody, of course, he's doing it. Cody's not my son. I would love to get a Stinger stack wagon, but right now is not the time to do it. Yeah, and I didn't realize that slurping coffee was rude. But here in America, we slurp that shit out of it. Maybe I'll have some tea this time, you know. Wes, why would you buy a new corn planter when you could buy a used one? Well, this is the other thing. We're going to get on to the corn planter here because, it's so much fun picking on people. Okay, so you've just won the lottery, right? You just won the lottery, and we all know how to make a small fortune farming. You start out with a big one, right? So we win the lottery, we got $2 million, and we go out and we buy new equipment, and what are we left with? A job. We're left with a job. You take $2 million, you buy the tractor, you buy the baler, you buy the corn planter, buy the combine, the headers, and everything you need, the cart, the bins, and everything. You're all set up. $2 million. You've already owned the land. All right, so here's your $2 million. Woohoo! I'm going to be rich farming. I got all this shit paid for. You have nothing left other than this equipment, which when you drove it off the lot, it just lost 10% of its value. So you've got $200,000 you're already in the hole, and then you got to buy seed, fertilizer, and all this other stuff. Oh, scrap metal would be, at least I could have used it to weld it back together again. But anyway, so you got all this stuff. So, okay, same person or different person works his whole entire life, scrapes a living together, and is like, you know what? This is what I want to do. I want to farm 5,000 acres of corn and soybeans, right? So here in New Jersey, we don't use a corn planter to plant soybeans. We don't do it. We use a grain drill. 7.5-inch spacings or 15-inch spacing. That's it. That's what we do. Some farmers will use a bean planter, which is, and you could have bought them from John Deere, but they're basically a 6-row corn planter with 12 units on it, and you either lock up the back, whatever. You can either plant all 6 or whatever. Hold on. It's Elm Custom Harvesting, and he's got something intelligent to say. You're exactly right. I sold this farm starting to purchase some new equipment, and now deciding how much I want to go forward to keep purchasing new stuff or good use stuff. Well, Elm, at the end of everything, you have to make money. Otherwise, you might as well just retire. Yeah, you know what? I can't believe you're actually being intelligent. For the last 3 years, we've had nothing but bad words to say about one another. But yeah, thank you for coming on here, and you're doing a good job. Thank you. Anyway, so you can either go out and buy all new equipment, or you can buy stuff like this, and you can do this. I mean, even if you're not mechanically inclined, you can find somebody to help you rebuild these things. There's always a knowledgeable, ambitious kid someplace. This corn planter literally is $12,000, okay, with everything that I put into it, including the toolbar, everything. Yeah, well, Timmy, that's okay. All right, so I got $12,000 in this corn planter. Now, one of these yahoos says, why didn't you buy a corn planter that was field ready to work? 2 reasons. One, it would have cost more, and I would have only been able to get, say, a 6-row corn planter, $5 from McAndrew, Read this morning that they are planting extra corn because of the good conditions here. Do you think corn price is going down? I don't think you can get much farther down. The nice thing is, and Elm Custom Harvesting knows this. We are in a unique area where the basis is generally anywhere from 20 to 60 cents a bushel over what you guys get in the Midwest. He'll make more money than me on corn selling to the same place because he doesn't have to haul it as far. So Eric Eric is doing a good job if he's using his brain instead of buying new stuff on the money that he got from the farm, because obviously I haven't watched your videos or anything, but instead of spending the money that you got from the farm on new equipment that's just going to depreciate at an accelerated rate over the next 5 years, you buy something that's pretty much depreciated out, half worn out. Just say everything is half worn out or completely worn out on a 12-row corn planter like this. Everything is new. This whole entire thing is there's new openers, new down tubes, new meters, new scrapers, there's so much new stuff on here. So you take something that's half worn out or three-quarters of the way worn out, and you put in $5,000 to $10,000 into it, and you've paid $10,000. You got $25,000 into a corn planter. That's not $250,000 for the same corn planter. You know what I'm saying. So he's using his brain. I'm only going to plant 200 acres of corn. 200 acres of corn. I don't know what Eric plants, but 200 acres of corn is nothing exciting. If I decided to do 2,000 acres of corn, then that would be pretty exciting, and I would go buy two of these. Now, if speed is a problem, if you can't get fast enough, you can't get that corn in the ground fast enough at 4.5, 5 mile an hour, and you can't do it. There's a support crew that has to be up your ass on a machine, one of these high-speed machines. You really have to be moving. There's a support crew. You're going twice as fast as you used to go. So that's like two machines. So you've still got the same support crew to service two 12-row machines over one 12-row machine. So the support crew stays the same. You just got to hire one more nut to put behind the wheel, and you give them a GPS and say 4.5 mile an hour. If you're going faster, I'm going to break your legs. And that's, to me, is just the wiser choice, just to me. Now, if you're farming 5 to 10,000 acres and there's corn is always a window. Everybody knows that there's a window of time that you have to be in the field. My window of time is just starting to open. Anybody that planted corn like before now, it's a little crazy. But now the hard part for me deciding where we want to buy another farm. Lancaster County has so many outlets to sell cattle, hay, or grain. Well, those are your decisions. Move west, a little bit out of Lancaster. You can haul in. I have to haul in. It's 2 hours, you know. So it is what it is. You got to make up your mind. Taxes, if taxes, efficiency, and a market that's right there, or you get out of town a ways, maybe an hour away, where Lancaster's only an hour away. I'm 2 hours from everything here. So an hour I would be like jumping up and down for joy, but I'm 2 hours away from everything. So an hour out, 45 minutes to an hour out, it's not going to kill you. A little more time with your kids in the truck. It is. It takes a little more time at the market, but your pace of life is a little slower than mine anyway. So, but that's your decision. I mean, you do what you want. If I buy another farm, it'll be right up the road here because, well, I know what I'm going to get, and I know where it's at, and I know what it's going to take to get it. It's just time is what I need. Just a little more time, and we'll be good. But anyway, whatever. It's everybody's personal preference as to what they want to do. The majority of the farmers in this country do not have the high-speed machines and the fancy pants stuff that you see. What you're dealing with are the Howard Buffetts. That's what you're seeing buying this stuff. These huge conglomerate farms where farmers go to work for these guys, and it's their unit or their equipment that was bought for them by their employer. Small family farms, the vast majority of everyone, they're running used secondhand planters. They're maybe not, maybe they're buying them brand new, but that payment really hurts. Really, really hurts at this time of year. Angus Gold Rush. If you have a grain drill spaced at 7.5 inches, could you shut a few rows off and plant corn with it? No. The John Deere grain drill is a free fall system. It's just a metering system, so the spacing could be doubles, skips. It's crazy. That goes by pounds. You can plant wheat like that. Soybeans, yes. You can get belt meters, I guess, for soybeans, which are a little more accurate on a John Deere grain drill. Um, I personally, if I was going to be growing corn, this is what I would use, this very unit right here. Finger pickups are antique. They used to be high tech, but they're antique now, I guess. I don't know if you can still buy them with finger pickups. I'm sure you can, because they are reliable and simple. Buying land out west is a lot cheaper, but then we don't have the grain market like Lancaster County. Well, that's what I said. You just go about an hour out of Lancaster, get down towards Carlisle. Carlisle's not too far. You get down towards that, then you can get into Lancaster County pretty easy. But hey, it's entirely up to you. I'm staying here, even though it's getting harder and harder every year. But most of the farmers around me run old tractors and got old farmers going out. Yeah, old tractors, old equipment. As long as it gets the crop in the ground, if you can easily put $350,000 into a corn planter or a planter. Let's just call them planters because they're dual purpose. So. Yeah, you too, Eric. Have a good day. Just be smart about it. That's all I can say. Just be smart about it. And yeah, and there's a lot of people that watch these other farm channels, and I'm not making fun of these guys, but and I'm not even gonna name names, but you know who they are. They're young. They have a camera. They're on their parents' farm, and they're showing their parents stuff. Not all of them, and not all of them own all those pieces of equipment or whatnot. I own the equipment here. I don't own the land. I've never claimed to own the land. This was where my great-grandparents bought. My grandparents bought this off of my great-grandparents, and now my dad has it here. So I am on my dad's farm right now. Will it pass to me? Hopefully, but if not, it's no skin off my ass. It's not my decision, right? Um, I will be purchasing a farm, and it's going to cost over $1 million. And $1 million in agriculture anymore, it really isn't a lot. But the land, there's a house on it, and there's the land, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'll have that. That'll be my own. And I don't want to be 60 buying this piece of property. I would like to do it before I'm 50, and 48 is coming quick. And that is why I'm doing these custom jobs. Custom jobs line your pockets pretty quickly. Now, yes, if you take your equipment to the dealership to have them work on it all the time, it's going to cost you a lot of money. But I just so happen to be quite skilled in the repair, rebuild of these pieces of equipment. Therefore, it is only a third of what it would cost the average Joe that doesn't know what he's doing. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to be doing. Yes, this video is sponsored by the bird in the roof. Or, you want to know something? I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something that's probably going to shock most of you. After I had my falling out with WD-40, this is it. There it is. This is their grease gun. This is their stuff. Isn't that amazing? When they said that they weren't paying me, I refused to use their shit. You believe that? I mean, I did. That's what I did. So yeah, that farm's 100 acres. I'm planting corn on that farm this year. And yeah. Will you up in Lake George anytime soon? Yeah, I got to go up and get my daughter. My daughter's coming to North Carolina, and I have to pick her up. So I'll be up at Lake George sometime May 25th, maybe. Yep. She'll pack her bags and get her shit together and come down. There's a couple of guys in this area whose family members were supporting their farming activities, two brothers. And as of recently, Timmy knows who I'm talking about, uh, they don't get the money anymore. And they're being made to actually make it on their own, from what I understand. And I wish them luck, because when there is money that's given to you with no strings attached and no need to earn it, it's just, here it is, guys. You get on that hook, or you get on that pill. You can't get off that pill, the spending pill. So once you're spending like that, and there's really no consequences for your overspending or your taste in equipment, when the money stops, it's really hard to stop purchasing and doing things the way you have done them for years. So I think a farmer that scratches his living out of the dirt from start is a much wealthier farmer in the end than the guy who has all the brand new fancy stuff that was handed to him, and that does happen. The only thing that was handed to me was the right to pay rent on this farm. My dad handed me his time, which I appreciate that very much, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. He lended me his time, and now he's incapacitated with his eye. Hopefully, comes back and is able to do some work, because it's going to kill him if it doesn't. But other than that, I rent this farm. I pay rent on it so that I can stay here and use the shop and everything else. It doesn't belong to me, and I'd like to own it. I would love to own it, but you never know. You never know in life. Some your intentions are not that of others, and when you realize that, some people just assume that because you're their child, that you're going to get what they have, and that's just not the case. And that's when they get upset. You ever watch the movie Gran Torino? Gran Torino is a really, really good movie. It's a Clint Eastwood movie. He's in it, he stars in it, and he directs it. And if you don't know the movie, that's how a lot of people are. You know, they don't take care of their parents. They want to shovel them off into a nursing home or whatever, and they just don't appreciate what they have and where it came from until their loved one is gone. Plus, you paying rent on the farm helps your dad out and cover the bills on towards the place. Yeah, well, he doesn't have any bills towards the place because I pay for them. It's my fuel, it's my everything here. And he doesn't. It's fine. Taxes is about it. Taxes and insurance. Oop. And but anyway, that's it. Sell me a hat with your embroidery on it, like I got on. Hey, you know what? Like I got on, or like you got on? Yeah, no. If anybody wants to buy embroidery stuff, just go. Send me a. If anybody out here that has a farm or has a business that wants to have hats made, all they need is your logo. Send me your logo and an order for at least 15 hats, and we'll digitize, produce, and see to it that you have them within a week. My dad he's not happy. His eye is in bad shape. Clint is the only one Norris lost. I don't think so. I don't know. What did Chuck Norris and Clint Eastwood ever star in together? I don't remember. My favorite brand of tools? Craftsman. That's a home. My Indiana Jones hat. Yep. Does this answer your question? And for those of you that like it a little on the kinky side, this is bicorn. So yeah, sweet corn. Yeah, I'll ship anywhere in the world. I don't need to call Carl. To red green baler. What kind of mower do you use? Some people assume that shiny equipment equals a great farmer with a lot of money in the bank. Not always so. No, that equals a possibly a great farmer with no money in the bank. It's true. A video on timing the idiot block baler. Well, that thing's easy to time. You want a trick? This big old lunk of iron in front of me. You want a hat like mine with my embroidery on it? Well, you buy me that hat. I can embroider it. The problem with embroidering this hat, excuse the bald head, it's full of holes. See that? Now you can put it in the bill. Look at that sweat. Yeah, will you be? Yeah, I'll be bringing. I'm gonna get a walking floor and bring back compost. I love the new truck. I love the power of it. I love. I don't love the ride. It's rougher than the F-150, but it's a necessary evil. You know, it is kind of holy. There's a lot of trolls watching me right now, but I've blocked a bunch of them so they can go kiss my ass. A peerless walking floor. Yeah, I'm thinking of actually just renting one for 2 months. I don't know what the rent will be on one, probably a couple $1,000, but a couple $1,000 is a couple $1,000. It means nothing. Next big purchase. Still looking for another baler. Troll views are still views. As long as they're blocked from speaking on this channel, they can still view it and they still count. My weather is good right now. Anyway, you skid steer? Possibly. I want to send that hub out. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I want to send that hub out and have them rebuild it because I'm yet to get a new one. He's at home helping my mom and dad. Why did I buy a new truck? Because a new truck, I'll have it for 10 years, and I will fix it over the course of those 10 years. If I buy something that's 10 years old, I had one of those. It would have cost me $8,000 to fix it. You know, it just would have been, and a lot of time that I don't really feel is necessary to be playing with one. If I'm going to fix anything, it'll be that blue one over there, and that blue Ford, that 40, what is that, 41? 1941 Ford, it's like an F3. It's a ton and a half. You know, Colorado. Yeah, I've got a signed contract, so I got to go. Fresh loader tractor. That will happen when I get the new baler. I'm looking at a 6215R, a good use 6230 or 6250, newer one. If I actually go to 6250R, I'll probably get to 73 whatever R, 7000 series at that point. Yeah, you can come out and meet me as long as you're going to be normal. Don't be a belligerent asshole. I hate belligerent assholes. That's what gets me. How's the Model A running with? I haven't ran it yet this year. I did, a couple months ago, but I should fire it up and take it for a spin. It needs to be there. I've got 690 people watching this, 691, and I appreciate every single one of you. I just want you all to know that. I don't do this for fun. Well, I do it for fun. I didn't do it. I wouldn't be doing this anymore if I didn't have the number of people watching that I do still. I feel that I would disappoint people if I quit. And I'm glad I'm appreciated. I really am. Somebody said something about copper. I'm looking at old 8400 for copper. Are they good tractor? For a chopper? What do you think about the tall tire sprayer machines with all the tall tires? My Navigator 1100 is good. That's tall tire. That's a 46-inch tire. Are you still buying another tractor? Yeah, I will. Chopper, yes. The 8400 John Deere tractor was actually a decent tractor, yeah. They had controller problems with them, but they updated those, and I was told that they were pretty well bulletproof from then on. Well, that's true, Tim Wolf. I do speak my mind, and it holds me back, but it makes me feel like me. You know, you have to be you, or you're just you're actually cheating your audience, really. Churchill, a lot of stuff here going up for sale. Churchill, where's Churchill? If you quit, I'd be disappointed. Let the trolls get the best of you. You know what you're doing. Now, I'm not going to quit. Not yet, anyway. No, do not put tire eject in a tire with water in it. You might as well just piss in it. Farming Church of Plant. Hey, Wes, been a great finally catch a live stream. Thanks for keeping it real and not full of PR for big companies. Yes, thanks for being here. Tell John that the minute I get in country, I'll definitely search you guys up, because you know what? I really enjoyed our talks, and it was good. It's amazing how similar we are, and not for nothing. And I'm not just saying this because we're talking here. I feel that I have more in common with the farmers in the UK and the men in the UK than I do here in my own country, and that's just true. I said this before. I've said it to farmers here, and I've said it to my wife, even my family. It's like, when I was in England, I felt at home. I don't feel this is my home. Don't get me wrong, but when I was in England, I felt at home, especially along the Welsh border. Boy, what a beautiful area! It just looked like, I don't know, when there's a hotel named after you, and there's a bar, the Pandy Inn, at Herefordshire, in Herefordshire. Uh, I would call it Herefordshire, but here I would, but at Herefordshire, I really enjoyed being in England, and 7 days was not enough. It was great. I'd like to see Ireland a little bit. Actually, Ireland a lot. I would love to come to Ireland. I have ties there. I mean, my bloodline is there. Ireland, Scotland, England, France, and Germany. That is what I am. French and German more than anything else, but English, Irish, UK. That's the other third of my bloodline, and I really do feel at home there. Right?
No.
What are you doing?
About 5 gallons left in that drum.
5 gallons left in the drum.
Yeah.
Quart to the acre. 4 quarts in a gallon. 4 times 5 is 20. That's enough to do 20 acres. 10 gallons do 40. We need 15 gallons of that shit. So a 5 gallon pail, put 3 of them in.
You want me to dump the rest? What was in?
Well, we got to put it in a 5 gallon pail because we actually have to measure it. So, anyways, guys, with that being said, I'm thankful for you all, and I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. It's been about an hour. I'm going to get Timothy going. McAndrew, what do you think? Hold on. What do you think about lockdown and the free money? Well, I got the free money today. $1,200 for me, $1,200 for Teresa, and 12 is 24, and $600
Will.
for Will. No, it wasn't 600. 24,
500.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, $500 for William. I got $2,900 today in the mail from the federal government. What do I told Teresa, I says, well, enjoy it, because we're going to have to pay 3 times that, back. But the very nice thing is, you need to file your taxes so you can get the $1,200.
Yeah, no.
You have to do that. It's real simple. 1040 easy. Use the W-2 form that you got from me. File your taxes. You're good to go. 2019, and you'll get it. Okay, so there you go. The nice thing about it is it only goes to people that have paid taxes. You will pay taxes on it, of course. It's income. But yes, it's taxes. So it's going to people who work and pay taxes. That's where it should go. Shouldn't go to illegal aliens. It shouldn't go to welfare recipients. Even though those welfare recipients are paying taxes, it's going to go to them. It shouldn't be to those. I'm sorry. It shouldn't go to people that are already on the government take. They're non-contributors. They contribute nothing. They just take. Useless eaters, useless eaters. I think that's what Adolf Hitler called them, because they were around then too. But anyways, with that being said, hoodwinked. I look Italian. No. Anyways, hoodwinked by an angel. Michael Fazio is on board. What the hell time is it there? What time is it, Tim? Yeah, waste of space.
3:53
3:53
here.
here. Wow, it's early, Michael. Early in the morning. Somebody sent me an image of I don't know what that is. Looks like a girl getting laid or something. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the info there. Take care. Love the channel. Thank you, and I will see you all later. Mr. Michael Fazio, I would like to talk to you, not today, but it'd be good to talk to you again, and just to catch up and other things. And we're going to be going to the Philippines. I'm hoping 2021, unless the pandemic keeps us away. But if it doesn't, then we'll be around. Hopefully, come up, meet up with you on your island, and check out the hotel. Yeah, it'd be cool. But anyways, talk to you later. Thanks for watching.